Hello, everyone. This is Eric from Etiquette back for another live stream. If you're new here, my name is Eric, and we talk about teaching or teaching English as a second language. If you've got any questions, if you've got any answers, please put them in the comments down below, and we'll talk about it. Yeah, I do this almost every week. I think, well, every Sunday. I took a bit of a hiatus a year or so ago. For a year or two, I didn't live stream after doing it consecutively for 3 years. And now I'm back trying it out again because I've got nothing to do on Sundays. This is, by the way, I'm in South Korea and it's 10 p.m. at night. So I thought it's nice to do a live stream at night. Yeah, so if you're new here, just tell me where you're from. If you've got any questions, if you want to talk about anything, please let me know and we'll try. In the past, when I first started this live stream, I would pick a topic to talk about, and then I would prepare for the topic and I would talk about it. But then I thought it took too much time to prepare for these live streams. And then one time I just came out and I just said, okay, well, let's open up the floor to any questions, and then I would just come on and chat, and that's what I do. And we've got our first two viewers, Ian33, hi from Chad, hi. And then we've got Hater, hi, and Svara. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining. Yeah, also, I've spoken about this before. My Instagram and my Facebook channels are still, they were hacked, and now they're suspended, they're disabled. So I don't have access to my Instagram or my Facebook, which is sad because I had almost 70,000 people on or members on a Facebook page, and they used to join here. So we used to be like almost, a couple of hundred people joining for the live stream, but now it's only the Facebook audience and some from LinkedIn. Rafael, hi from Brazil. Hola, how are you guys doing? Temi, growing with Temi. That's an interesting topic. Oh, what is your channel about? Growing with Temi. Let's look it up. By the way, guys, if you've got any questions, please put it in there. Teacher Lutz, hi there. Haiter from Angola. Nice. From Central Africa. Svara, I have to thank you I'm happy to hear that, Svara. If you guys have any questions, please let me know and we'll chat about it. Let's see. Growing with Temi. I'm so curious. Growing with Temi. Yeah, so guys, I just come up and I chat about anything. Actually, it's I was talking to my dad earlier this week, and he said, Eric, this background is it's too boring and too predictable. And for me too, I was watching some of my earlier videos. So I lived in a small apartment, a small dusty apartment, for about 4 years last year. And so I would live stream with that couch behind me. And then other videos, I would actually use a camera with a background, and I would shoot those videos. And they actually look a lot better than my current videos, because my current videos I just shoot with this webcam. So the quality isn't as good as when I use a camera. And I was looking at the previous videos, and there's definitely a difference in quality. So my plan is to move to a new apartment in September. And then from there, I'll do better quality videos with a different background again. This was like I feel like this year was actually this year it feels like I haven't worked as hard, or I didn't work as hard as I used to, but I still brought out a lot of content. It's just different, it's a different phase. Zaiba, hi from Pakistan. Tatya, how are you, Eric? Miss your amazing session so much, Tatya. It's so lovely to see you. First and foremost, how are you doing, by the way? Ian, thank you for the generous efforts to improve the process of education by supporting teachers. It's my pleasure, guys. The reason I started this channel is just to share some ideas and give some activities for topics, for activities for teachers, because when I started teaching there was no channel like this, so I thought, okay, well, I might just as well start one. Speaking of which, yeah, today I went to bed late last night, couldn't fall asleep, and then this morning or this afternoon I went for lunch, and then I booked into a study cafe where I sat for 6 hours. Well, I had dinner, so 5.5 hours. I sat and I edited a new video I'm doing, and I think it's a really good series. It's basically, this latest one is how to teach the past tense. So I go over some ideas and tips on how to teach the past tense. I share some activities. I've created a worksheet that you can use in class, with also looking at some common mistakes students make when using the past tense. So I'm busy editing that at the moment. It took 5.5 hours, but I'm still not done. I think I need another 6 to get the video done. Maybe 4 if I go quickly. Yeah, maybe 4 if I go quickly. But yeah, for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be working on useful videos. I hope that you guys enjoy. Hater, actually, I have so many questions. Oh, that makes me nervous. I hope I can answer them well. I'm just here chatting, trying. Cal, hi guys. Emerson, hi from Brazil. I'm about to quit my horrible teaching job. There's no law in my country. Why do you want to quit? Is it because of the students? Is it because of the pay? Is it because of administration? So, yeah, maybe this Tuesday I will release another teachers quitting video. So most of the content the content I make is usually about tips for teachers, classroom management, activities, things like that. But recently, videos that have been performing really well, a compilation of teachers quitting videos. And even though I don't think it really helps the audience, lots of teachers watch it, so it's helped me. And I'm going to make a few more of those in the future. More, sorry. Okay. How to teach the 4 skills more efficiently. Yeah, I think, so if you combine the skills when you're teaching, it helps a lot. You're not just going to focus. Some teachers focus just on reading, just on listening, just on speaking. But what you really want to do is to try and combine what you're doing and giving them a chance to use all of them. So if they're reading, you're going to use reading activities. Wait, let me rephrase this. I think when you're teaching English in general, you want to mix up you want them to read, you want them to have speaking activities, some listening activities, and some writing activities. You want to mix it up. Unless you've got specific skills you want to focus on, then you're only going to focus on those skills. So I've made videos on how to teach the 4 different skills. I haven't done videos on how to in general, how to focus on the field, on the 4. Now, I think when it comes to any type of skill that you teach, it's important to prepare the students for success. So that's why you've got to make sure they understand what you want to achieve. If you want them to improve their speaking, you're going to want to give them the brick, you want to help them be prepared. So you're going to give them vocabulary. You're going to show them certain grammar that they can use, or expressions. You're going to show them how to structure their answers. You're going to let them practice dialogues to make them confident. If you're focusing on listening, you're going to do pre-listening activities by looking at the vocabulary. Give them context about what they're going to be listening to. The same with reading and writing. It's all about providing your students with the confidence and the resources to do well in the skills they have. Then during, you're going to if they're going to do listening, you're going to tell them what they're listening for. Is it for information? Is it for the main idea? Is it are they listening for certain vocabulary? So when they do that, they've got to understand exactly what you want from them. Also, afterwards, when you give feedback and you help them reflect on what they've learned, you're going to look at what they've learned, the mistakes they made, how to fix the mistakes. I think it's very important to build fluency and build confidence for our students when doing these. Let me quickly see if I can find. Actually, I think, let's say speaking. I think I've done a lot. Speaking. No, where are you? I've got like 50 videos just based on speaking. Actually, you know what I did? I made a big video about preparing students specifically for English tests. I've done speaking activities. I'm sure I did like a few just based on that. Let me see. Where did I have it? I've got speaking activities, but I also had like specific ones just based on the skills. Alina, but Swara, I'll look at some of that more. I think there's a lot more I can share about that. Elena, hi from the US. Thanks for all your sharing with us. Very happy. My question, how can I overcome a toxic work environment that treats staff indifferently and supports and encourages a specific group of teachers and abuses others who do not align with them? Yeah. Colleagues. Did I do one on colleagues? Here we go. How to deal with teachers. Okay. Actually, I did make I made a video on how to deal with teachers, how to deal with colleagues. I'm going to put it in here. It's a video about how to deal with, co-workers and also administration, because, I think it's difficult, in any business, but especially with teaching, where you work with people, you work with your students, you work with other teachers, and there has to be a certain amount of professionalism and the way that you deal with everyone when it comes to the hierarchy of where teachers stand, and also the principal, how you deal with the principal. It's these interpersonal skills are very important when it comes to teaching. I think every teacher has had experiences where they clash with other teachers. They've had experience where they have like a best friend that's a teacher. So yeah, it's a toxic environment. What I would always say to someone is, wait, where are we? Here we go. What I would say is, if it's possible, find another job. Like, who said, Ian, you said you're going to quit? Who said they're going to quit? Someone said they're going to. Oh, no, it's Emerson that said they're going to quit. Ian, yeah, the first thing I would say, if it's possible, find a better school. I've been at bad schools. I've been at better schools. And it's way better if you go to a better school. But if you want to help and improve the school, you've got to start with yourself. So make sure that your classes run smoothly. Make sure that you've got a good relationship with your students. Make sure that you are professional when you work with co-workers. I would also say, unfortunately, to make up for lack of professionalism from other people, you've got to take the burden on yourself and be better prepared than they would have been. And if you are in those situations where you can prove, oh, actually I over prepared and I've done things that they might not have thought of, when it comes to admin, when it comes to organizing things, or when it shows the work that you've done with your students, they're going to be so impressed with you that it has to be better. So unfortunately, we are only able to control ourselves. We aren't able to control other people. So do things for yourself. Make sure you're ready. And the things that you cannot control, the way that they act, just tell yourself, listen, as long as I take care of myself and my students, there's nothing I can do about them. I can only inspire them. Now, that's not to say, I think a lot of people take messages like this and they think, well, Eric's telling me I should should close myself off and I shouldn't care about other people, or I shouldn't stand up for myself. That's not what I mean. I think when it comes to teacher leadership, you've got to assume the burden. And sorry, it looks like I'm lying down. It's just because I can't get this to go down more. I don't want it to point down. So let me sit upright. I hope everybody's okay. I'm chatting for way too long. Emerson. Yeah. No, I believe you. Listen, their teachers are going through very difficult things. So, yeah, I'm making these teacher quitting videos, but nobody watches my other videos with advice like this one about how to deal with teachers or how to deal with colleagues. It barely gets any views compared to videos of people talking about how bad they've got it. How can I handle a class with a few incorrigible disruptors where the majority struggles to concentrate 30 minutes before the end of the lesson, thinking about the end of the class? Yeah, you're going to have to break your class into different parts. You say, oh, well, they're struggling to concentrate for 30 minutes. Well, don't think of it like, let's say your classes are an hour long. I don't know if they're an hour long. Let's assume they're an hour long. And and you're saying, well, they can study for the first 30 minutes, and then they're going to they can concentrate. And some of these disruptors, they actually, instead of enjoying the class, they're getting a kick out of getting attention from other students and acting out. It's become a habit for them, I would say. And I'm just repeating myself, but first of all, you want to have a structure, a start to the class, a middle to the class, and end to the class. You want to have basic rules about how the students are supposed to behave. And you're going to tell me, Eric, I've got those. I'm just having trouble enforcing them with these difficult students. I'm also going to say you want to break your class up into different sections. So you're going to want to have like a nice way to start class. Let's say you take control of the class and you tell a story, or you go over some work that you did in the past and you ask them some questions. You want to build a relationship with them. Then after that, you're going to introduce whatever content you're teaching. And that also you want to break into different tasks. So you're going to want to have an introductory activity where they do something, and then you're going to take feedback from them. You want to give them a chance to share their ideas and what they're learning. And then you're going to want to have a section where it's dusty on this monitor. You're going to want to find a way to teach them, a place where you're actually just going to be in a teaching mode. What is it? A lecturing mode. And then after that, you give them something to do with a partner or alone, or but you want to break your class into different sections so that you can control the flow of the class. I think as teachers, we start getting a feeling. You can see it too. That 30-minute mark, they're starting to act out. They're not having fun. I think you should over prepare for your classes, have more things to do, and be more in control of the timing of the class. So moving their minds around, So I've made many videos on different activities that you could try and do in class. Sometimes if a class isn't going like, if I can feel them acting out, I say, okay, everyone stand up, and you do something like Simon Says, or you at least do some group work where they can interact with other students. But once they do the group work, or when they do the group work or the pair activities, you want to make sure that they follow your guidelines and how it's supposed to be. When a student misbehaves, it's a teacher who is punished. Where is that meme? Teaching in the past versus present meme, where they show, let's see, I'm just going to images, see if I can find this. It's quite a popular one, is where the parents go to the teacher, and in the past the teacher would be like, oh, what are they doing? And then oh, here's one. And then teachers now is here we go. Okay, I'm going to share this with you. I hope there's nothing. Let's go to present, share screen. Window. Here we go. Share. Okay, can everyone see? So this one. Go full screen. I hope it's nothing bad. Don't show me anything bad. Okay. Okay, nothing bad. Good. Okay, so like this, did you talk politely to your teacher? Did your teacher talk? Well, I think that. Well, I think this one is a little bit better. This is the one I was thinking about. Don't show me anything bad. Okay, let's zoom in. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Explain these bad grades and then explain these bad grades to the teacher. Yeah, okay. I think that worked well. There we are, back again. Okay, that's me. No matter how good your class is, students don't care, and it ruins the teacher's goodwill. Yeah, no, I'm sure it's difficult. Thank you, Svara. Na Fares, hi. What's the difference between young learners and adult learners? Oh, there's a lot. You know, young learners. You've got to teach them how to behave. So classroom management is more important. They have a shorter attention span. You know, you've got to simplify things. They don't have a vast experience to draw on. So you've got to use more flashcards and images, and you've got to use more storytelling and movement and music. I think one thing that I would always say to teachers, if you can implement more stories, music, and dance or games into your classes, they would be much better. You know, for someone like me who isn't very musically inclined, that's some advice for myself. And then with adults, you know, they've got experience. You don't have to control them or manage their classroom behavior. I think the only thing with classroom management that you've got to think of for adults is sometimes you might have an adult that overtakes the class and just talks about what they want to. So it's more about managing each person to get an opportunity. They've got a lot of experience to draw on, and it's just up to you to get them to talk. Yeah, I think that's and you're also going to be a different one between adults and younger learners. Is with younger learners it's more general, and with adults you're going to focus on specific skills that they might want. You know, so of course you're going to teach general English, but you're also going to do more dialogues or activities that's focused on business or meeting someone for the first time or traveling. Even with all the inspiration that your video here in Brazil, there is a war against the educational system and the rewards bad students and punishes good teachers. I see it more and more, Emerson, and you know, I just make videos and hopefully people talk about it. I don't know the answers to everything. All I know is that people don't want to go and work anymore. You know, teachers are leaving in droves, and yeah, I think for your private schools, they're going to start headhunting more teachers. You're going to find private schools getting the best teachers, and more public schools are lowering the training or the conditions for the teachers that they want to put into class, because there just aren't any people willing to do that anymore. You know, especially with today's social media. It's funny that I go to social media, but it's just something I was thinking about. With today's social media, you see teachers either looking at other professions and people traveling and people enjoying their lives, or not having to worry about the stress of teaching or working with kids or working with parents or working with, well, bad colleagues that you're going to find that in most professions, possibly. And then so you're going to get that, and then also and then some of the few teachers that they also want recognition, they go on social media and they stay in. But then you also see teachers quitting on social media, and that also influences. Wait, what was I going to say? Yeah, anyway, so teachers on social media, they see other professions enjoying their lives. They see other teachers also quitting, like these videos, and they feel like it's just not improving. And that's why many don't want to teach anymore, or they're leaving teaching. I've designed a program to teach my students using only tablets. They can answer with WhatsApp messages for my questions. Tablets are fine. I think that's great. I think as long as as long as the students have a way to save what they're learning so that they can review it later. But if they're answering your questions, yeah, that might be fun. When I was teaching online, I would do the same. I would be like, okay, everyone type in the answer, or doing fun things like that. And it's also fun things like Kahoots, where the students can quickly give their answers what they think it is. It also keeps them more engaged. So if you can use something like that, that would be fun too. How to teach adult students. I think I just spoke about adult students, but I made 2 videos. No, what are you doing? No, I don't want you to. No, to how to teach. Oh, no, 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 no. Sorry, I'm trying to type in here. Okay. Actually, I made 2 videos. I'm quite proud of them. The first one I'm going to share with you is called "How to Teach Adults." So you can watch this video, and then I've also got another video about activities to do with adults. So I'm just sharing this one with you, Hater. Lads, thank you. By the way, the class 1, 2, 3 hours of me helping. I'm happy to hear that. Actually, one of the videos that I want to make is I went onto Twitter. Not Twitter. I went on to TikTok, and I found so many fun call and response ideas from other teachers, and I want to make a compilation of it because I just use my own. So I think that's something I'll make in the future. Shouldn't be too difficult. Car emoji. Hello from Cambodia. Could you share some tips to manage the class when the students' behavior during this time? Yeah, I've done many videos on classroom management. Classroom. And let me find one of the newer ones because I've made many videos. I've got for teenagers, I've got for kids. Actually, I made a whole course on classroom management. Let's see. Classroom management books. This one is funny. I made this video on classroom management books. Let me share that with you. I think I kind of like this video. So it basically goes through the best classroom management books, and it shares. Yeah, it goes through classroom management books, and it shares the best information from each of them. And I thought this was a really good video, but yeah, it's not doing that well right now. So check it out. Yeah, this is classroom management tips that come from books, and I think there are lots of tips that might be interesting. David, hello. Gilberto, I'm from Mozambique. Hi. Aralia. I'm spending too much money for my student resources. How can I management? It's becoming unmanageable. Yeah, that's a big thing. Teachers spending money. Recently, they had that whole what was it called again? Buy the book, clear the list. A couple of years ago, they had this whole initiative called Clear the List, where teachers basically went on Amazon and they made a list of all the resources they need for their classes. And then parents or anyone that wanted to could donate to this and help clear the list of things they need. So what I would say is create a list of everything you need, send it out to the parents, ask them, if it's possible, would they donate? Could they help buy any of these things, and yeah, make it clear to your administration that you can't keep on spending your own money to facilitate, to help run the classes. But I think your best bet is to reach out to the parents. Say, okay, well, it's not mandatory, but you're struggling. You're just a teacher. You can't keep on spending all this money for this. These are the things I need. So I think create your own list that you can share with them. Okay. So yeah, you've got classes where a bunch of students don't care about the subject, but the same lesson works perfectly with others. What would you do? Yeah, I think you've got to engage the students that aren't engaged. So let's say you've got a lesson, and some classes enjoy it, but then other classes, they enjoy chatting to each other more, or they just get a kick out of not doing their work, and they don't feel challenged by the material. You've got to engage them. You've got to make it important to them. You've got to make it part of the class to do it. So I would say, make sure that those students, when you teach something, ask them for their input, or question them. Make it a habit of them to be. So one of the things I would say, one of the big mistakes teachers make, is they don't question their students enough. So if a kid sits there and they know, oh, you know what, I can just yawn, I don't have to care. And if they're sitting there like, the teacher's, what's going on outside, I don't really have to pay attention, I'll chat to my mate. If they're like that, they're not afraid that you're going to ask them questions or you're going to call them out. So you've got to make it a habit. Hey, so we're talking about this. What is the answer? What do you think? What did you do? Next week, what are you doing? Okay, guys, I want you to quickly do a dialogue. And then, okay, out of this class, I need 2 people to do the dialogue. You guys, you can do the dialogue. Or, well, I call all the students out to give me answers. But when I love playing games with them to pick who will give feedback. That I think that is one of the things that actually that I feel really good. Let me just take this. I'm hearts and I'm cold, I'm yes and I'm no. Katy Perry actually did something about her. Her real name is like this long name. What's Kate? She's got this long name, Katy Perry. Anyway, one of the things I've gotten really good at. Why do I look so short? Okay, just sit up straight. One of the things I've gotten good at is not being comfortable while sitting here. No, okay. Is actually picking students. So I've got every time I just have fun finding new games to pick the students. So I always do, okay, you and your partner do this reading, or you and your partner, I want you to create this dialogue, or I want you to ask these 3 questions to your partner. And instead of just saying, okay, is everyone done? Okay, let's move along. I say, okay, we need to pick someone. And I've got different ways to do that. If it's like a small group, I've got 4 markers, and I change the top of one of the markers to red. I hold it and I say, okay, whoever picks this one, that group has to do something. And then whoever picks it. Or I tell the groups rock, paper, scissors. The losing group will have to give feedback, and it's not just one group. Maybe it's 2 or 3 groups. Or, I write numbers on the board and I say, okay, I've written 1 number behind this book. If your team picks this number behind the book, you have to do the dialogue together. So having these fun ways for the students to, it's not that you pick them, it's that they lose a game and now they've got to perform. But the fact that there's a possibility that they're going to have to speak in front of class, that helps them focus better because they know it's important, and you've got to keep them on their toes. You've got to go through and constantly ask them questions. Oh, what do you think? What do you think? Or what's this? You've got to create that with them. And I think it's very important. I don't think I've made a video about it, something about question your students, always question your students, something like that. I should write that down. I like that. That's a good idea. Thank you for the question, David. By the way, guys, my hair's so short. I really like the hairstyle, but it needs to be waxed. I like my hair very short. Although when I'm sitting here and the light's on it, you can see my scalp. But you know what I hate? My hairdresser. She knows I like it short, but then she takes those scissors that kind of thin out your thin out your hair. That with the little teeth, and then I don't like that because I like my hair thick. Next time I'll talk to her. Next time when she takes it out, I'm going to be like, listen, put those away. How should we deal with difficulty when ChatGPT is used for class for doing homework by students? In addition, do you have some ideas on how we could positively integrate AI during classes? Yeah, let the students use AI, but use it. They should use it in a smart way. So instead of just asking, I think the way that we ask our questions has to change. Instead of just giving them the question like that, tell them that they've got to use it by adding their own experience. So let's say they, instead of asking them, okay, write, or the difference, which is better, apples or bananas. You're going to say, well, tell me about how apples and bananas are used in your daily life. I don't know. But we've got to make it about personal experience. And then we've got to challenge our students to think about things. So for example, how can you, when they have to do a speech, instead of just using AI to write everything, they've got to add their own mindset and give personal reasons for it. I'm sure there's a better way I can explain it, but the main idea is just that we've got to, it's not about the students just thinking. It's about, we've got to influence the way that they think. So if they're using ChatGPT, it's not just putting in an answer and getting out putting in a question and getting out the answer. They should add something of themselves into it and also learn how to use it. Do you have any tips to teach English to ADHD students? See, I've been thinking about doing that. I don't think I've done that. Special needs. Ooh. Oh, wait. But no, actually, I did do a live stream once with a teacher that focuses on special needs. Yeah, I spoke. It's Martha. That's who I spoke to. Martha, so nice to see you. I didn't even put it in a playlist. I should put it in a playlist. Let me put it in a playlist. Martha, seeing you. Wow, it's been a while. Martha to talk about teach and support. Let me share this with you. This is Martha, and she's one of my biggest supporters on Instagram. And I've missed seeing this. Takes me back. When did we do this interview? I'm going to send her a message after this. When did we do this? I don't see the date. Date. Sometimes it's difficult to find the date with these things. Analytics. When was this? Let me see. Oh, it's still going strong. Tuesday, February. What? It's been, it's 2 years. It's been almost a little bit more than 2 years, where we spoke about ADHD. So this is a live stream with Martha. Oh, I got a lot of viewers from it. It's very interesting. I think I need to invite her and do like a proper video on it again. Lots of people interested in this one. But yeah, it's just not being shown anymore. Yeah, I'll make a video about how to teach English to ADHD students. Top of my head. Yeah, like I said before, you want to manage their attention. So you want to switch between activities. You also want to give them enough time to wrap up activities. So I usually walk around. I tell them exactly what the activity is. I do an example of the activity, and then I also get them started with it. And then, so once they're busy, because you want to not just explain the activity. You don't just want to do an example. You want to start them with it so that they know what to do. And once they get started, they can get into the habit. You also want to tell them how long they will have. Guys, you've got 5 minutes. And then 2 minutes later, and then I check how much time they need. And then I say, okay, you've got 2 minutes left. You've got 1 minute left. Okay, everyone finish up. And then, you want to transition in between the activities smoothly. You want to be in control of their attention, especially with the ADHD students, because they can quickly, if you're not in control of it, if you can't manage their attention, they're going to influence the rest of the class negatively. So you want to stay on top of that. And, if they get too much, rather control them, not control them, but move them. Say, okay, well, go and count pages go and count blocks over there, while I finish this. So, you should also be able to check where they are, and if you need to keep them busy with something so that you can carry on with the class. So yeah, just think of things like that. Should I not make jokes with my students in the classroom? Yeah, I think I've said it before. You want to you want to use humor in the classroom, but you don't want to be a clown. Ooh, yeah, that's a bad place to be. Uh, Aralia, it should be a treat for them, for you to make a joke and for them to laugh. They want to get to know you and they want to get to know your humor. But once you say, oh, they're just waiting for my next joke, like dance for me, monkey, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me. I never liked that song. One Hit Wonder. Anyway, you're not supposed to be entertainment for them. You can be entertaining, you can have a fun personality, you can share things, but it shouldn't overshadow their learning. So the students get to know my humor too, and I use it sparingly. With my university students, I check where they are. I'm going to be friendly and I'm going to use jokes once I feel that we're in sync, or if the moment calls for it. If it's funny, I'll do it, but I'm not just looking to, oh, what funny thing can I say now? But sometimes we see some teachers with great and fun personalities, and you kind of think, man, I wish I was like that. I remember I was teaching, and the thing is, I came from a school where I had to be really strict, and I came to this different school, and I said, "Listen, I'm going to continue being strict. That's going to be my persona in the classroom." And then I would look at these other teachers that have like a ball. They're always laughing, and the kids are joking with them. But then I told myself, "Listen, yeah, maybe my personality is different in the classroom, but still." Even though I'm generally a little bit more strict, I also try and have fun with the students. I try and share my personality and my life with them. I try to get to know about them too, so that they feel more at ease to make jokes too, and they feel comfortable in class. That's very important. But you don't want to be the clown for them. That's how I feel. Noisy classes, Sheena. Well, my most popular video is about noisy classes, but it's basically, it just shares some call and response techniques. So yeah, I'll share this one. Actually, I wonder how this one's doing. Let me quickly see if this one's doing anything. Are you doing anything? Why? No, it doesn't do anything. Oh, that's interesting. Some of these. No, sorry. So let's go here. Okay, let's try noisy class again. Noisy class. Okay, this is my main video, the main video on my channel. I'm proud of it. I made it 6 years ago. It's one of my first real good video, and I'll share that with you. It's just some call and response techniques and some tips. David, thanks. Maria, thanks. Scumbag, good to see you. Sorry, guys. I won't do that again. I was wondering if you had any See, Scumbag, one of the biggest issues I have is when teachers ask me, Eric, can you give any recommendations? Because I feel like I've done a bunch of books, but I don't like sharing these books. I always try to answer the questions except this one about what book to prescribe. So no, I can't help you with that. For 2A2 level kids, it's difficult to create a new lesson wholesale every week without some guidance. I know what you mean. Recently, so the classes that I've been doing this year with my beginner students is I've been using Smart Choice, and it's okay because it's got activities in the front, and it's got activities at the back. I think it's very difficult. I would always suggest getting books to use with students. It's just easier to go through the books. Right now, my goal is to make 100 English lessons, and then share that, all the worksheets, because I mean 100 would be amazing. So my goal is to make 100, and then after that, so it's 100 based on English grammar, and then after that, so 100 lessons with worksheets and activities, and then after that, I'll do another 100 based on topics, with worksheets and activities. But yeah, that's going to take a couple of years to complete. But for now, I would just say go to a bookstore, find a book that you feel is at their level with enough writing to do. When it just comes to grammar, I would say I've been using a book called Smart Choice, and that's fine. It's got some interactive activities that you can use, and it's not too bad with the younger ones. Scumbag, you know how many mistakes I've made in this one live stream alone. I've made so many mistakes. No, guys, we make mistakes. It's okay. It's no one's perfect. Yes, we should hold ourselves to higher esteem, but we're just people typing things out. But I know what you mean. I was texting my girlfriend earlier, and instead of you should, what did I say? You should just throw things away or something. And then instead of throw, I said through. And I'm like, I wonder if she reads it and she thinks, oh, this guy can't even spell properly, so something like that. Okay. If I may ask more, how many activities should a teacher in the kindergarten do? Class. It depends on the activities. It's not like how many, if they do an activity that takes longer, I would say it's all about, like I said, it's controlling their energy and their attention. So I would say, if you do activities that require them to be more active and more fun, maybe those will be shorter than activities where they draw or they do an activity with a partner. It's just you've got to figure out how long you think these things are going to be, whatever you're doing with them. Don't worry too much about it, but about how many. You don't need a timer. It's just about you've got to figure out how to do it, and especially with the younger ones, you want a routine so that they know exactly what they'll do for those 2 hours. Because if you run out of things to do by the first hour and you've got nothing planned and you've got nothing to do, it's a very stressful situation. So especially with the younger students, have more planned, and also be in control of the time. Don't rush them to finish things. Take your time. You'd rather want them to use up more time instead of rushing them. And sometimes I say, you shouldn't give students too much time, but in this case, I think, slow down a little bit with them. And lots of in between, do nice fun activities. Very important, learn some chants to do with them, or dances. I think having these fun, just go on YouTube, find these fun dances that you can teach them, and build up a repertoire every week, like every second week or every week. If you teach them one new song and then replay those songs, like let's say the first week we learn this dance, and we practice it throughout the week. The next week we do the second dance, but then I might play the first song from the last week again, and they'll be like, oh yeah, we did this one, do it with them again. And then you build this arsenal of, like, let's say you've got like these 5 songs that you can switch in between, that the kids know that you can play at any time. So you want these fun things, and also to show off to the parents and other teachers, have these fun little games that the students like to do. So find out what games work and then try that out. So it's not about the timing, but it's about that. Scumbag, never. Don't worry. I wish I had a better answer for you. It's not on you. It's just I've worked through so many books, but I still haven't found books that I really love or I'm interested in. Yeah. Wow, I got through all the questions. So, by the way, guys, what have I been doing? I shot 8 videos. Well, these 4 videos, and they're taking very long. I started editing the longest one, so that's why it's taking so long. But how to teach the past tense, the future tenses, present continuous, and pronouns. So I just want to edit those and put those out. But I think this Tuesday I'll release another teachers quitting video, and then tomorrow I have to go to the airport to pick up my girlfriend. She's coming to visit, and she's going to stay here for 2 months, almost 2 months. And yeah, during that time, I think I'll be working. I've got 1 more week left, maybe 2 more weeks, 2 more weeks of exercising at my dance classes. I enjoyed those. The weather's going to be really bad tomorrow and Tuesday. Oh yeah, Tuesday is my birthday. I'll be 40 years old. I'll probably I'm taking a cake to my dance class. Maybe I'll introduce my girlfriend to the ladies if she's interested in going there. And then maybe I'll make a reservation at a nice Italian restaurant I haven't been to, but it should be interesting. Teach my class, go for a drive. I'm really excited because thanks, David. So I'm excited because I'm finally. So I bought the car, and I'm excited to go and pick her up, and we're going to go on many road trips. So yeah, I'm going to have to be smarter with my time. While she's sleeping, I need to do my editing, or at night if she's doing something at night, I think I've had so much time for myself, just to work and to be lazy. But now I'm going to have to be smart, entertaining. I want to do some more cooking. My cooking is horrible. And spend some time with her, see if we can, work on our relationship. Not work on it, but build. There's nothing wrong with it except the distance, but build on it and see if we can perhaps make it more permanent. Heiter, thank you, you've been here from the start. I appreciate it. Yeah, or what else? Just making videos. I really like these videos that I'm making about teaching specific grammar. I think that is the future. It's just it's kind of tough when I look back at the videos I made before with the camera and now the videos where I just sit like this. It's not the same. So I hope people understand the information as well. Heiter, I will. Yeah, she's going to leave soon. I think her plane departs. Oh, it's 7 o'clock. They're 7 hours ahead. 3 hours, maybe in 3 hours. 3 hours, maybe. Yeah. And then she flies for like 16 hours. And so, yeah, I'll pick her up tomorrow at 5 p.m. Very excited. She hasn't seen the car. I want to surprise her with that. And I hope she's not here. But yeah, I need to. So tomorrow I'll do my fitness and then I'll go to this. I'll eat lunch, go to school. I want to pick up some flowers before. I want to pick up some flowers before I leave, and then from school I need to go to the airport. But I've got enough time. I've got an extra hour that I can just relax and wait for her, and yeah, then drive back and busy weekend after that. Appreciate the recommendations, of course. I don't know, guys. I'm just blabbering a lot, and hopefully there's something useful. Yeah, I just hope to get my Facebook back. I really miss having like 100 people on. I appreciate all of you, but yeah, sometimes I just feel like, oh, just 100 people watch it. Is it, is it? Should I spend my hour editing a video? Working on other videos that will be seen more, or should I just do a live stream that maybe not everyone sees? But for me, I appreciate you guys coming to say hello and supporting me. I hope to help you a lot more. Well, next weekend I'll do the live stream, and my girlfriend will be here. I don't know if she'll appear on the live stream, but Just know she'll be in the area perhaps if I do the live stream then. Yeah, but everyone, thank you so much. I really appreciate the support, and I hope to make more, better videos, more videos in the future. Everyone, I wish you a lovely weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.